So you are welcome back. So this problem is a quadratic equation problem, and it says that prove that for real values of x over x plus 2 over x squared plus 3x plus 6 cannot be greater than 1 over 3 nor less than minus 1 over 5. For what values of x, if any, it attains these values? So let's start and see how we go about solving this problem. Let's take everything in this, let's take this value, this expression, that it should be equals to k. Then from there we can get started. So this would be x plus 2 equals to x squared, k bracket x squared plus 3x plus 6. So we now have x plus 2 kx squared plus 3kx plus 6k. So we can rearrange this and put them in order. We can have kx squared plus 3kx minus x plus 6k minus 2 equals to 0. So let's factorize them. So we have kx squared plus 3k minus 1 bracket x plus 6k minus 2 bracket closed equals to 0. So for real roots to exist, b squared minus 4ac must be greater than or equal to 0. So that condition must be met. That condition must be met. So let's see how we go about it. So this is now our A. This represents our A. This represents our B. And this represents our C. So we'll start now. So we now have 3k minus 1 all squared minus 4 into k 6k minus 2. Okay, close. So let's simplify. This will give us 9k squared minus 6k plus 1 minus 24k squared plus 8k. So greater than or equal to 0. So what we have here, we have minus 15k squared. I'm trying to simplify them now. Plus 2k plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So multiply everything through. Multiply through by minus 1. By the time you multiply through by minus 1, the inequality sign will change. So we have 15k squared minus 2k plus 1 minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. So what we have now, we can simplify this. It will give us 15k squared minus 5k plus 3k minus 1 less than or equal to 0. So we have 5k into 5k minus 1 I hope I didn't make any mistake here. Okay, so we have 5k minus 1 and then not sure whether I made any mistake. Correct. So we have 1 to 3k. No, this is 3. So this is 3 minus 1. So we have bracket of 5k minus plus 1 and then 3k minus 1 less than or equal to 0. So we have gotten this inequality. We need to find the range. You know, this is not equal. This is not equal to. It's not equal to. What the sign we have there is less than or equal to 0. So we cannot say that our k is equals to minus 1 over 5 or k is equals to 1 over 3. That is not possible because it's not equal to that is there. It is an inequality sign which is less than or equal to 0. So we need to find the range of value which this expression, which this inequality will be valid. So we need to find that, and I will show us how to go about that. So let's see how we go about finding the range for which this inequality is valid. So we need to create a table. So the first thing is, let me create what values am I going to use for my inequality, for the inequality table. So I will assume that we have 5k plus 1. Take that as equal to 0. So your k equals to minus 1 over 5, and then 3k minus 1 equals to 0. This is side work, it's not part of our work. It's equals to k equals to 1 over 3. This is not part of the work, but it will help aid us in our working. So I call it work, side work. So remember, these are the two values in our inequality. These two values that you have here. And that's what I wrote in this table. The two values I got here. So I'm going to work with these two values now. So I need a table. So in that table, I will need a table for me to know which range is valid for this. I need a table, 4 by 4 table. So in this table, we want to say among these two numbers, minus 1 over 5 and 1 over 3, which is the smallest? The smallest is minus 1 over 5. The biggest is 1 over 3. So I will start with the smallest. I will say k is less than or equal to minus 1 over 5 less than minus 1 over 5. Then I'll move to the next one, which is minus 1 over 5 less than, so less than k less than 1 over 3. So I'll put that. Then the next one is k is greater than 1 over 3. So I put that in the table. So now these are the two values I'm working with. So I will work. Let me just copy this. I need these two values. So I paste them here. Paste it here. I will need this to be pasted. So now we have generated. This is the product. We need the product. Now you pick a number. The k should be less than minus 1 over 5. So pick a number that is less than minus 1 over 5. So let's pick minus 1. So if you put minus 1 here, minus 1, 5 times minus 1, that is minus 5, plus 1, that will give you negative. So let's say you put minus 1 here also. 3 times minus 1, that will be minus 3. So the answer here will still be negative. You don't need the value, you just need the sign of that value. So minus times minus will give us plus. So we move here between this minus 1 over 5 and 1 over 3. Let's say we pick is 0. It's still within that range. So let's pick 0. So 5 times 0 plus 1, that will give us plus 1. So we just moved this time. We don't need the value. It's plus. So 3 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 will still give us minus. So that minus there. So the product of the product of the two will give us minus. So I'll put minus here. Then a number that is greater than 1 over 3. So we can pick 1. Positive 1 is greater than that. So if I pick 1, let's say I put 1, this one will be positive. 3 times 1, that is 3, minus 1, that will be 2. It's still positive. So positive and positive give us positive. Now, the table has given us an hint of where the range is valid, where this expression, where this inequality is valid. Now, the expression that we have here, let me copy it out so that you see. The expression I have here, is less than that. It should be less than 0. So if something is less than 0, that means that thing is negative. If it's greater than 0, that means it's on the positive side. So the range is valid for this value here. It is valid. The range is within this value. So this man, this expression, let me copy this. Okay, I will have to copy this expression that we are given. So the cannot be it cannot be less than this. I have to remove this because that cannot be less than that and cannot be greater than 1 over 3. So at these 2 points, this is positive and the expression says it should be less than. By the time we calculated, we got something less than 0, less than or equal to 0 from this expression that we have here. It's less than or equal to 0. But on these two sides, it is greater, it is positive. So the value of this expression cannot be greater than 1 over 3 nor less than 1 over 5. So let's put it in a better way. So this man cannot be greater than 1 over 3 nor less than minus 1 over 5. So that's that. So that's the first part of the question. The second part of the question says that for what value of x, if any, it attains these two values. That means if it attains 1 over 3 and minus 1 over 5. So let's assume that the second part of the question, we want to treat it now. So copy this man. Let me copy this because we'll be using it. So let's assume that this man is equals to 1 over 3. That's the first value. So if you can attain this value, so let's assume that you can attain 1 over 3. So that means we have 3 into x plus 2 equals to x squared plus 3x plus 6. 3x plus 6 is equals to x squared plus 3x plus 6. So let's collect the like terms together. So if you look at it, 3x and 3x. So what we have here is x squared equals to 0. So our x is now equals to 0. That's the first one. That's the first one. Then this man, when this is equals to minus 1 over 5. So we have 5 into x plus 2 equal to minus into x squared plus 3x plus 6. So we have 5x plus 10 equals to minus x squared minus 3x minus 6. So let's collect the terms together. So we have x squared. I'm bringing them together now. If you take that one to the other side, it will be 8x. 8x. That's plus 16 equals to 0. By the time you factorize that will give us x plus 4 and x plus 4 equals to 0. So our x equals to minus 4. So the two values it can attain, x should I equal to 0 or x equals to 4. So these are the two values that we can get for this calculation. So I just want you to take note of the two values that we can get for this calculation. So let me copy this so that you know. So this is the second part of the question we're treating. So this is the second part of the question. Second part of the question. So this is how to go about solving this kind of quadratic function. So I hope you find it interesting. Go over the video, watch it as many times as possible, so you can get a good grip of how to solve problems like this when it comes to quadratic functions and how to go about solving them. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like our videos, subscribe to our channel and share our videos. Thank you.